Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the one and only and amazing Anna Kelly. Hi, Anna.
Hi, Michael.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Always so good to be back with you.
Yes. I have a very, I think, important topic for folks. I am starting to see more and more people give up.
Yes.
And what do I mean by give up? They're like, it's impossible to find deals. There's nothing out there. Why do I bother? And they're letting the negativity beat them down, which is frustrating to me because right at the time that deals are starting to get good, they once again run away. They're more excited to do the work when everybody's winning. They're not excited to do the work when true opportunities. It'll be easier to create great deals in the next 12 months than it was the last 12 months. I
Yes,
can't understand why people give up today. So I thought we should talk about it.
absolutely. This is normal. This is what we experience when we have huge shifts in market cycles, which only happen about every 10 to 12 years, sometimes 20, right? And so we have very short memory spans, usually no further back than about 10 years. And when 10 years has been pretty easy to do real estate and to do really well in real estate, people haven't experienced the level of hard that we're experiencing over the last year and a half and over today. They certainly don't remember, high interest rates because it was, more than 15 years ago since we've had them. So it's just simply the lack of understanding and comfort and memory that tells you that things can be good and bad, at any time, depending on your mindset and what you do with that. So this is very normal for people to feel when we're heading down from the very top of expansion into a low, not there yet, not at the bottom yet, but when we're heading down to a low in the economy and starting back over from recession to recovery, it's the maximum point of fear because it's suddenly changed. It feels like a suddenly, and that unknown of what's going to happen, it creates this natural fear and anxiety that makes it very difficult for people to move past.
Yeah, I just want to give some people some numbers, and I might do a solo video on this because I'm passionate about this one. So I just locked up my first deal that I've done in 13 months. So that's 400 days, rough and tough. I must have written somewhere between 80 and 120 offers. I probably had somewhere between 200 and 300 kind of email conversations, right? Kind of like taking temperatures, because it's been really hard to get deals done. And wholesalers haven't brought me a good deal in years. And it was just tough, but we never stopped. And I just put a deal in contract, which will close probably on Halloween, Monday the 31st. That was listed at 270. We got it for just over 200. And when it's all said and done, I'm going to JV with someone, and I expect to make 30% on my money annualized return in 6 months. And they're out there, folks. You got to do the work. And I say this as someone who has helped thousands of people. My numbers speak for themselves. I give out these cards. I sent out 4 cards today, right?
Yes.
And I have this course, which you're a part of, called How to Get Started One Rental at a Time, which is stupid cheap at $320.
Yes, it is. Go get it.
Yeah, exactly. So this month has been bad for sales, which is okay. I never talk about it. But what I am following is people completing lectures. Completed lectures is way down, which tells me people are giving up, just like y'all gave up in 2010 when I was buying stuff at land value. Deals are out there. It's never easy. When Bigger Pockets is pushing Burr and Airbnb like it's so easy, that's the time to be scared. When everybody starts running away because all the negativity, that's the time to do the work and look for great deals. It's not here yet, but now's the time to do the work. I think it'll be, I try to keep it off the videos, but I'm vibrating with excitement because I've been here before and I know how many people are going to vanish and then they'll be complaining, "Oh, I missed it. I'll get it next time." No, you weren't, because you're afraid of doing the work. People are afraid of doing the work, Anna. That really annoys me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you just alluded to it. I know I've said it several times, but Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest people in the world, right, ran a huge hedge fund, says when everybody else is greedy, that's when it's time to be fearful and take a pause. But when everyone else is fearful, that's the time to double up and get greedy and realize when everyone else is afraid, just like you're feeling, right, they start running away. They quit doing the work. They quit doing the deals. So what does that do? That eliminates a vast majority of your competition. So the maximum point of fear is also your maximum point of opportunity, because you're not going to see massive opportunity when everyone else thinks that real estate's a no-brainer, that they can't lose. When people start losing and people start running away, you have eliminated part of your competition, which means you can get deals at a better price. And I can tell you, when sellers can no longer name their price, right? Because demand has dropped, both in terms of investors getting afraid of moving, but also people can't afford to get that home loan anymore, right? The interest rates have gone up. It's made it very difficult for people to buy a home. Credit quality requirements have gone up, right? And so there's a lot of demand that gets pushed aside, which gives you, again, tremendous opportunity. But you have to recognize what I call the cycle of emotions that go with the cycle of real estate, right? Your emotions are going to be fear, run away. Everyone else is telling me this is risky. This is the worst time to be in real estate. You can't make a deal done. When you start to hear all of that, you need to understand they're acting based on emotion, not on knowledge and experience that tells us when everyone else says you're an idiot, you can't do a deal, you better have the fortitude to say, this is what I want. Here's my financial goals. I know that this is the maximum point of opportunity. Or if it gets worse, there's even more opportunity. But you have to train your mindset. I read an interesting study earlier this week on the amygdala and your hypothalamus in your brain. The amygdala controls fear, fight or flight. The hypothalamus gets you out of that. It's rational and gives you hope and optimism, helps you to problem solve. The brain cannot get blood flow to both of those parts of the brain at the same time. And we tend to go where we operate. So if you start hearing fear and you operate in fear, you're going to be over what your brain is going to take over with that fight or flight, that fear emotion. And you have to train yourself to say, I recognize that I am operating on the emotion of fear. I need to calm myself down, take some time, take some deep breaths, pray, right? Get quiet, write down your fears, and then write down what you're hopeful about. Well, what if I can maximize this and capitalize on other people's fear, get myself out of my own fear and start thinking about the opportunity, the what if. Once you get back into your rational brain, you can start to think about, yes, these fears are unfounded. Sure, there's things I don't know. But if you can train yourself to basically function on data and the facts and what's true, you'll see what Michael and I are talking about is true and that there's opportunity. But you have to get a hold of your emotions. And I can tell you as a female, we're generally more emotional than men, right? Not always, but we are. And so in 2009 and 2010, I was operating in the ultimate emotions of fear and despair and fight or flight, losing my job, losing my 401k, not being able to get real estate loans. And I had to pull myself out of the mud. In Texas, they say you can fall in the mud, but don't let yourself wallow in it, right? You have a choice. We may be in mud. It may be uncomfortable. It may be unfamiliar, to the point that we don't remember 10 years back. But are you going to let yourself wallow in the mud? You're going to pick up your big girl pants, get back on the horse and keep riding and look for opportunity. And so you're so right. And it's natural what people are going through, but you have to make a decision. I'm either going to win and my goals are important enough to me, or I'm going to let myself wallow in the mud. And so the choice is yours. Take action, operate on the data and the facts, give yourself hope that you can find a good deal. You can, or you're going to flounder. And that's the bottom line.
Yeah, to kind of wrap this one up, this is kind of how I look at the situation. What has everybody been begging for? We've all been begging for motivated sellers. You and I have been doing this so long, we remember motivated sellers in 2010, 11. Most people do not. Yes. So when competition retreats, the sellers are still there. And oh, by the way, that just means the percent of motivated sellers are still there. I mean, I got a property at 203 that was at 270. That's like 25% off. And it's clean, right? There's just a couple of things I got to do, but no big deal. And so they're out there, and motivated sellers are easier to find. Second, the way to kind of beat back emotions for me is to do the work, right? For me, it's buy box, daily discipline, track what's going on. Because if you get comfortable in your box, nobody can give you emotion because you have raw numbers. And then it's the confidence that you build in yourselves by repetition. By like day 60 or 75 or 90, you're like, An average deal in this buy box is 8%. I'm just making this up.
Right.
So if I find a 12, I strike.
Yes.
Right. That's how you beat back emotion. And then finally, something that I added to the course, I don't know, a year and a half ago, is this private Facebook group. If you are in the private Facebook group, do me a favor today. Put a post in there. Tell us what you're doing and tag myself and Anna. We want to see how many of my students in the Facebook group are watching this, because we want to reach you on. This is the time to double down and do the work. Also, shout out Roldan and his wife. I want to make sure I get it right. Where is it? There it is. Careza. They actually shared a post yesterday. We've been looking for 13 months. We made 80 some odd offers. We finally got one. This is what I'm seeing. This is the time to keep going, especially because we are so close to Thanksgiving and New Year's, which 12 out of the last 20 years, I've gotten the best deal of the year between that period. Why would you give up now? So tag us in a post, do the work, don't stop. I'm vibrating with excitement. I got one deal down now that'll bring me 32% cash on cash return. I'm so excited. So Anna, where can people find you?
Great. Yes, you can find me here on my channel on your playlist at One Rental at a Time. You can find me on social media at Anna Kelly REI Mom, and you can find me at my website at reimom.com.